Today we're talking about the show that basically broke the brain of every Star Wars fan out there, Andor. And you know what's the most interesting part? There isn't a single Jedi in this show, at all. Not one lightsaber, no epic space battles. Because of this, people have split into two camps. Some are screaming that it's brilliant, that it's the best thing to happen to the franchise in years. And others are yawning and saying it's unbearably boring and not even really Star Wars. So who's right? And the main question, should you personally spend your time on it? That's what we're going to figure out today. Spoiler-free, I promise. So what's it all about? Andor is a prequel to the movie Rogue One, telling the story of Cassian Andor. But at the start of the series, he's no hero. He's just a regular thief, a bit of a con man, who's just trying to survive and find his sister. But one random, very messy incident in a dark alley sets off a chain of events that literally sucks him into the heart of the budding rebellion. This isn't a fairy tale about a chosen one. This is a very grounded story about how a regular person, pushed to the edge, becomes a revolutionary. Alright, let's start with why people love this show so much. And honestly, I agree with a lot of it. First off, this is truly Star Wars for adults. Just forget about the fairy tales. Andor is a dark, serious spy thriller. Here, instead of lightsaber battles, you get tense dialogues in quiet offices where fates are decided. And instead of epic speeches, you get real political intrigue. It shows us all the dirt, all the bureaucracy of the Empire, and it's just a breath of fresh air. Secondly, the writing. My God, the dialogue in this is probably the smartest, most well-written show in the entire Star Wars universe. The characters aren't cardboard cutouts. They're real people. You genuinely start to understand and empathize not just with the main character, but even with an Imperial officer who is just obsessively good at his job. And Stellan Skarsgård, who plays the rebel leader Luthen Rael. You just have to see it. But there's always a but, right? And with Andor, it's a pretty big one. Let's be honest about why you might just fall asleep watching it. The main problem is the pacing. I'm warning you right now. The show is very, very slow, especially at the beginning. It's in no hurry. It takes its time, methodically building the world, introducing you to a dozen characters, raising the tension. If you're expecting the action and dynamics of The Mandalorian, you risk just turning it off by the third episode. I'm not exaggerating. And the second point, it's just not the Star Wars we're all used to. I'll say it again. No Jedi. No Force. No mysticism. It's such a realistic story that sometimes you forget you're even watching sci-fi. For some, like me, that's a huge plus. But for many, I know it feels like a betrayal of the saga's spirit. So, what's the verdict? Who should run to watch it? And who should probably not even bother? Let's put it this way. You'll definitely like it if you love mature, smart spy thrillers. If you value brilliant dialogue and complex characters more than non-stop action. And if you're interested in seeing Star Wars from a completely new, dark, and realistic perspective. And you probably won't like it if you're looking for a light, fast-paced adventure with chases and shootouts. If, for you, Star Wars is first and foremost about the Force and lightsabers. And, well, if you just don't have the patience for slow burn stories, to put it simply, Andor is like a fine aged whiskey, not a can of Coke. Both can be great. They're just completely different drinks for a different mood. So, there you have it. I hope I've helped you decide. Have you seen it already? What do you think? Do you agree with me, or are you ready to argue? I'd be really interested to read your opinion in the comments, so definitely write something. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if this was helpful. Subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.